What the fuck happened?
I'll tell you what happened. This world's gone soft. It has. First of all, we got a great sports section coming your way. I'll tease that here in a second. But holy crap, so annoying. It's the middle of May. Well, I guess it's only like the first week or so of May. But we got blasted by a snowstorm here in Colorado. And most of the schools in the area, they were on a delay. Not my kids' school in the school right down the street. They got shut down because of freaking power outages. Is there no such thing as flashlights and candles? Because I got to be honest, I don't want them here. I don't. It's too early. It's not summer break yet. Come on. Oh, my gosh. My kids were all excited last night going to bed because the forecast was like, oh, you could get up to 8 inches of snow tomorrow morning. Be ready. And then sure as shit, they wake up and there's like nothing, right? And I'm like, oh, sweet, they're going to school. Then I saw something where I got a message from the school. They're like, oh, it's going to be delayed an hour. I'm like, oh, that's better than nothing. And then I got another text be like, hey, if your kid goes to this school or that school, guess what? School's closed due to power outage. And I'm like, that's fucking horse shit. That's horse shit. Come on. Jeez, just, open the window, raise the shades, bring in some sun, okay? If it's a dark room, just candles and flashlights. Somebody pull their car in and turn on the headlights. Something. Let's get creative. Teachers, faculty, come on. So annoying. Anyway. Now they're like, the kids are like, can we go sledding? I'm like, well, I got to do the show real quick. That being said, it's Colorado. Snow's going to be gone very soon. Very soon. Looking at today's show, the Cardinals, the team in the NFL that you kind of forget about. One of their players is asking Aaron Rodgers to sign with Arizona, but would that even make sense for him to leave Pittsburgh? I know there's not an official lock-in for him and the Steelers, but man, I'll explain why that would be really dumb. Really dumb. I accuse Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs of witchcraft. He's a witch. Trust me, it's going to make sense. It will. The biggest names on the trade block for the Denver Nuggets, it's not going to make you feel good if you're a Nuggets fan, but it might make you feel good if you're somebody else in the NBA, especially in the Western Conference. And next, the Colorado Avalanche, they explode for another impressive win against the Minnesota Wild. A glaring reasons, I should say, why they have been so successful, and not many media entities are actually taking the time to dissect it. They might go through X's and O's and be like, oh, this is why they won that power play. No. I'm going to get down to the nitty-gritty, down to the basics, the foundation of why the Avalanche are doing so well, and why, I don't want to say it, but why they are projected to be the champions at the end. I'm not saying it, but I wouldn't doubt it if they were. We'll get into that coming up. But real quick, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Interact with the show any way you can. I know I'll get to it tomorrow. Carl, you left a message. A great interaction in regards to one of the shows last week. If you guys are on Spotify, go ahead and leave a comment. It could be actually responding to a topic, or it could just be a basic, middle finger. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Maybe a peach and an eggplant. And then we can all sit here and ponder, what did they mean by that? I don't know. It's a mystery. We'll get into that. But anywhere you can leave a comment, please do so, whether it's Facebook or YouTube as well. That helps a lot. But guys, what we need to do right now, enough of me just rambling. Let's go ahead and jump into the sports section.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs with the 50. He runs with the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
Sorry, I had to get my mouth moist. Oh, yeah. So moist. Does that offend anybody when I say moist? Yeah, it probably does. The Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild was round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and two games into the series, I just have to say, I told you so. I freaking told you so. It was so funny looking at the Kings series, and everybody was freaking. I shouldn't say everybody. It was a lot of the local media because honestly, guys, man, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, they sell fear because we consume it. And they're like, oh, this is something to worry about. All these key players aren't getting all the points that they should. Meanwhile, Jared Bednar's explaining why the series was so low in the middle of the series. Be like, they're a tough-minded defensive team, the Kings were. And without saying it, but saying it is, don't expect it to be that way the rest of the playoffs, implying that the Kings had a very solid defense. So what happens? I told you not to worry about it because I listened. I freaking listened. I said it was going to flip-flop because I listened to Jared Bednar. Okay? 9-6 was the final in game 1. Last night, 5-2 in game number 2. Very aggressive offenses for both, to be honest, especially when you look at that 9-6 one. I was listening to Jared Bednar last night after the game, and somebody talked about leaving Scott Wedgwood in between the pipes in game 1 after giving up 6 goals. And he said a lot of that wasn't necessarily on him. It wasn't, but everybody else had the opportunity to bounce back. So why not give him the opportunity to bounce back, not only by keeping him in the game, but also letting him play game 2? And I think that's a huge, huge motivation coaching scenario that he just created there. Because if my coach sees that I get punched in the face and then I stick with it and I don't give up, and he's like, how about you going in game 2? I'm like, fuck yeah, coach, I got this. And he only gave up two goals. And let's be honest, the Minnesota Wild, they're a good team. But as of right now, the Colorado Avalanche, they're playing much better hockey than the Minnesota Wild. Now, post-game, told you I was cutting up sound, or I guess I should say video, for Mile High Sports. I suggest you follow Mile High Sports on social media at Mile High Sports, or check them out at milehighsports.com. Always great content on their website. But after the game, this is one of the reasons, and you might not catch it at first, this is one of the many reasons why this team is doing so well. One of the reporters said, I would love it if you guys could just say good things about each other. I don't remember how he worded it, but I thought it was funny, but something that's kind of needed at times in sports. So Nathan McKinnon is sitting next to Gabe Landeskog, and Mac just goes and does his thing. It's what they're both saying that makes me realize this team has some special chemistry.
It's just a void you can't fill. We waited a long time for him to come back, and it was worth the wait. He's, I think every month he got better this season. It's a lot of time to come back from, and I think obviously as a person, just a human, awesome to have around, and
that's enough.
Yeah. He's one of my good friends, so makes me happy to see him every day, and I think it makes the whole team happy. So,
all right, he could have gone on and on and on and on about how much he appreciates Gabe Landeskog and what he brings to the table. And it's funny because when you watch the video, I'm going to post it or put it on to the video version of this show. But if you just go check out my Instagram at DeHuff Podcast or at Facebook or on Twitter, DeHuff Podcast, you'll see what I'm talking about. Great chemistry with each other and the whole team. They're like a family. They get along, they appreciate each other, and they understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. So watching that and just seeing the sincerity in his face and in his voice of Nathan MacKinnon when he's talking about Gabe Landeskog, it just is a glaring beam of light that says these guys get each other. And when you really start learning about other championship teams, this is what they have. This is part of the recipe for success, is appreciating each other, propping each other up, and then being like Gabe and just go, all right, that's enough. Come on. And they start giggling at each other. Then what's funny is MacKinnon keeps going with a smile on his face, a laugh in his voice, continues to add on. He's like, I got to finish this. It might get overlooked, but it is a huge thing. As somebody that covered so many championships over the years, I've been in media since 2002. They all have that. They all do. They take it serious when it's important, but they understand each other and they appreciate each other. I know that sounds silly to some people, but this team is special. Not like they're the best team ever, although some people think that. I'm not willing to say that, but they are a special team, and they got a lot of toughness. Speaking of that, here's Jared Bednar after the game talking about mental toughness.
Playoff time, when everything's on the line, that can drag the best out in your group at times, and sometimes it can drag the worst out in your group. And right now, our guys are, like, to me, it's mental toughness, right? It's mental toughness and a willingness to do what it takes to succeed, and and to let good shifts go and bad shifts go, and just reset and go and make sure you're doing your best the very next time you hit on the ice. So it's a consistency thing for me, but it starts with, it's all up in between the ears for me.
Yeah, and what's between his ears? A nice set of hair. And every single time I'm cutting up video of Jared Bednar, I get a little bit down on myself. I'm like, God damn it, he has a beautiful head of hair. Anyway, it's a little, you can tell he just coached a game, but implying that it's a little greasy. I'm saying that as in he's been busy. He's been sweating. He's been coaching. Hey, all right, get the puck down there and let's go score some goals. Oh, all right. Pretty simple, right? But he does have a good set of hair, and I'm jealous. There we go. Just like all sports, it's the toughness is in between the ears. It is. And when you have great leadership like Landeskog, MacKinnon, and so many others, that is going to translate into wins. Not necessarily when you look at the grand, the final is, they won the game. It's winning plays. It's, we just had a bad line. Let's just scrap that, come back, let it roll off your back. Say that all the time as a coach. You will. If you're a coach now or you've ever been a coach, you always tend to say that at some point in the season. You say, you got to let it roll off your back. We all screw up. We do. And even the Colorado Avalanche, who are doing so well when you look at it from a distance, but they're looking at it under a microscope going, yeah, we're doing well, but we're also making mistakes. But we're learning from those mistakes, and we're learning from them and then putting them behind us, right? This is a great example of being a competitor and going, okay, I'm learning from my mistakes and we're continuing to move forward. I love hearing from that. And I love hearing, like we heard a little bit from Landeskog as McKinnon was, fluffing him up a little bit. But I want to hear a little more from Gabe Landeskog, because this dude is a key factor in why the Colorado Avalanche are doing so well right now.
Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year.
Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's Mike Evans just saying that, he doesn't believe in Landeskog, and Landeskog is, just is a disappointment. Here's the other one. Here's the right one.
Michael Charles Evans, you stupid.
I mean, that one tracks. It does. It fits, but that's not what I wanted to play. Hold on. Here we go. Here's Landeskog.
It's playoff hockey. It's what you play for. It's what you think about, through the dog days of the season. It's what you think about when you're training in the off season, this is what it comes down to. So I think it's just about just leaving it all out there, really.
Right. And that's the thing. He is a great example of the ultimate goal is to win the cup, to hoist the cup. You're dreaming about that in the off season. You're dreaming of that moment in the preseason as the regular season gets going on, during the All-Star break, all that nonsense. You're thinking about it. And if you're not thinking about it, as in that's my goal to win this play, win this line exchange, all that shit, right? That is your goal. That is your motivating factor. That's the chip on your shoulder, if you want to. I mean, there's a really good chance. I know I played it as a joke, but there's a good chance Landeskog heard this soundbite from Mike Evans, and that pisses him off. And I would not doubt if that's his ringtone. I would not doubt if he has it printed out somewhere, something like that, as a reminder to go, fuck the naysayers, fuck it, because champions find reasons to get that extra motivation.
Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year.
If it helps, it helps. That's what champions do. You go out there and prove people wrong. You go out there and freaking put your balls on the table and say, who's ready to eat, right? Wait. Right, Scotty, did you just say you want people to eat your balls? I misspoke, cowboy. I misspoke, okay? But you get the point, hopefully. Anyway, hey, everybody, put them in your mouth. Anyway. So really, if you look at it, based off of what I just played, Landeskog, Bednar, McKinnon, it's really some of the biggest factors of why this team is special. Great leadership, team first mentality, grit, insane skill level, the ability to admit your flaws and fix them. All these things are just added to that recipe. The recipe that is sprinkled up with the top of, we're a team, we're a family, we got each other's back. There was another soundbite. It was a really quick blurb of, I think it was Bednar, where it's like it's not all about scoring goals for individuals. It's whatever the team needs. You need me to do something? Sure, coach, got it. It's the equivalent in baseball. Do you need me to get on base, or do you need me to advance some runners? Because sometimes those aren't the same thing, depending on how you hit it. It's the same thing. sometimes you need to get thrown out at first in order to advance everybody to second and third or home, right? Sometimes that's what's necessary. That makes sense. And once you as an athlete, once you as a teammate understand that, sky's the limit for you and your team when it comes to success. So I like that. They have that team first mentality. This is a team. This is not a bunch of individuals out there. This team is special. And if they keep playing this way, I don't see who stops them. Carolina might be a tough one. I don't know. I don't know enough. But I do know enough about this. Get on the Colorado Avalanche bandwagon. It's okay. Everybody, get on the bandwagon. Choo-choo! Right? Is that what we used to do? Be like the bandwagon is like a train, the bandwagon train. Be like, come on, everybody, get on the bandwagon. Get on the Avalanche train. Woo! Ooh! Ooh! Here come the Avs. It's okay. Everybody's welcome. The more, the merrier. Come on. It's okay. Get on there. And shame on anybody that tries to give you criticism for jumping on the Avalanche bandwagon because they're in the playoffs and they're doing so well. Shame on them. They probably don't recall the very first moment they got on the bandwagon. They may have been a kid at the time, but usually it's because you see something great happening and you're like, that's my team, right? It may be a great play, it might be a great victory. They may have won the cup, whatever. It doesn't matter. There is that moment where you see greatness and you're like, that's my team for whatever reason. So don't shame people for jumping on the Colorado Avalanche bandwagon. Come on, baby. Come on. You got this series. Got to finish this series one game at a time. Then you got the Western Conference Finals. And then if you get through that, Stanley Cup Final. Guys, this is fantastic. There's 10 more victories that the Avs need to get. You got to do it one at a time, and it helps if everybody's on the bandwagon. So do it. I already pulled out my, it's snowing here in Colorado in the middle of May. I got my Avalanche beanie. I was wearing it earlier. Get your stuff out. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods. Go to Walmart. They have some good stuff. Get your Avalanche gear. Come on, let's do it. You don't have to go to the game, but you can support the team because, God damn it, they're fun to watch. They are. Going to the Denver Nuggets. David, I can't admit that I'm in over my head. Adelman is expected to return as the Denver Nuggets head coach. It's not really surprising, to be honest. It's not. He basically got a season and a quarter under his belt as a head coach. But I think hopefully he can stop and realize this when he, in this offseason, he needs to fucking relax, admit his mistakes, learn from them like the Avalanche are, and become a better head coach and put out a better product on the court. Someone might want to send him to a masseuse. I'm just saying, but I'm not saying maybe a Robert Kraft endorsed massage parlor. I'm saying, but I'm not saying, okay? But I'm saying. Something's going on. He needs to relax. He does. Maybe he needs a weed sponsor. I don't know. It's fine. But he seems so wound tight. And let's be honest, the Nuggets were riddled with injuries. At the end of the day, that shouldn't fucking matter that much. It matters, but it doesn't matter. You can only use that as an excuse for so long. But things need to change, and it's not going to be Adelman. And that's going to upset a lot of people. But why would the Denver Nuggets do that? He is one of the, if not the cheapest head coach in the league. Got him to the first round of the playoffs. Okay. So that's good. I mean, we'll see. The real test will be this next season because there's going to be a lot of potential trades. Aaron Gordon's name is being rumored to be thrown in there for trade talks. Apparently with the Lakers, Suns, Celtics, among a bunch of others, okay? Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown. Christian Brown, people are like, the big selling thing for him is like he makes a good chunk of money. That would be a good salary dump. The point is, with the exception of Nikola Jokic, nobody's off limits. And to be honest, I think it would be very hard out of those guys, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown, which one of them do you have the hardest time saying goodbye to? Or which one are you more than willing to get rid of? The guy that I would have a hard time getting rid of, Jamal Murray. He has so much upside. And when he comes to play, holy shit, he's a special player. The other guys, Cam Johnson, I see a lot of potential for his future. I would like to see him stay. Aaron Gordon is great when he's healthy. That's a big, big thing. And I would hate to see it. I feel like Jokic has a lot of fun when Gordon's healthy and out on the court. Christian Brown, I could see him going. Out of all those, I would definitely want to keep Jamal, and I'd be perfectly fine if Christian Brown left. Right? You tell me. Of those guys, who is the one you want to keep? Who's the one you're like, I don't really care if they go? And then you got the other two where you're like, okay, I'm fine, kind of fine either way. Now, when we're talking about trades with the Denver Nuggets for some of these bigger names, a name that's being thrown around, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Derrick White. I will say this. Hell no on Anthony Davis. Please, for the love of God, don't let that happen. I hate to say this about an individual that has accomplished so much more than I have, but the dude is, as far as NBA goes, he's washed. You don't need that. That's not a necessity. I guess you can make a case for Kevin Durant, Derrick White. Yeah. We'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see. So, who was it? Sham with ESPN just kind of summed up what the Nuggets is going on with the Nuggets. Adelman's job is safe. Jokic is expected to sign an extension in July. There's big-time roster changes expected soon, and they're willing to trade anyone with the exception of Nikola Jokic. I just don't want him to overreact. Overreact and blow shit up. Unless it works out. It's like hindsight, like, it might be great. Like 6 months from now or like a year from now, we're like, dude, best decision ever was to blow shit up. I don't see that happening. Looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, their star quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, he's trending towards a return to the field a little earlier than expected. He suffered a torn ACL back in week 15 against the Chargers. He underwent surgery the next day. His initial timeline was like 9 to 12 months, with the best case scenario being he would return in September. Well, now they're saying he could return to the field for the team's OTAs, which is May 26th through 28th. Because he's a fucking witch. That's why. The fuck? Put him under investigation. Jesus Christ. As a Denver Broncos fan, I expect the NFL to do a full investigation. I don't know what kind of concoctions they're whipping up there in their little, witch's den, otherwise known as Chiefs Kingdom, to get him ready. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Here's the thing with Patrick Mahomes and technology getting better and better. I mean, this shit, I think those old recovery timelines are a bit dated. When you're an athlete that treats your body right, your healing factor is just through the roof in comparison to somebody like me. I get a torn ACL. Guess what? I'm not going to be back until like 2 years from now. That's what's going to happen. And I'm still going to be fucked up. So, yes, here's the other thing too, like with Mahomes. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're like, it's cool. I'm excited, but please, for the love of God, don't rush him back. As a Denver Broncos fan and anybody else in the AFC West as well, hell, the AFC, it's like, go on, go, rush him back. It's fine. What's the worst that could happen other than setting back his career?
You sick son of a bitch.
It does worry me a little bit with, like, say, people like Bo Nix. It's like, I know you're a competitor. I know you want to get back on the field. I know you want to start working out again. But every time I've had a procedure, they always say the same thing. People always get hurt when they start to feel better because they think they're healed, but you're just at that stage where things are healing, but they're not fully healed. And that's where people tend to do a lot of damage. That being said, there's a big difference between me going to physical therapy and doing all that shit versus, say, Patrick Mahomes, who's surrounded by an entire medical team and is only going to get the best and is only going to have 24/7 availability to doctors. And they can, rescan things just to get a checkup on things. Whereas me, it's just like, I'm not going to get another scan. That's too much money. Jesus Christ. So it's going to be good for the league if Mahomes is back in full strength. It's going to be annoying, but this is going to be a big year for them. They had such a shitty year missing the playoffs. If they have another shitty year, what does that mean for the Chiefs? The Chiefs have a lot of pressure this year to do well. One, you got to get back to the playoffs. Two, you need to win at least one playoff game. You have to, in order for Chiefs Kingdom to be a little bit more settled. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I know several Chiefs fans. You guys tell me if you are. If you're one and done in the playoffs, is that a success? If you squeak into the playoffs, is that a success? Not for that franchise and what they've been doing for so long. And then to have a dramatic drop-off, you guys literally plummeted down a cliff this last season. And if you guys don't come back and make some noise in the playoffs, holy shit, expect that franchise, the foundation to start getting shaky and dramatic moves to start happening. I'm not saying they're getting rid of Mahomes, but what I'm saying is they're going to start getting rid of some fuckers. Speaking of getting rid of people, could Aaron Rodgers be headed to Arizona? The Cardinals have 4 quarterbacks, by the way. Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, Keaton Slovis, I think is how you say his name, and third-round rookie Carson Beck. Now, Kendrick Bourne tweeted, Aaron Rodgers, come on, we're waiting on you. Come on. And then their coach came out and like, no, come on, it's just a little bit of nonsense. We have 4 quarterbacks, and that's what they're focused on, as they should be. So looking at Aaron Rodgers, should he ultimately stay with the Steelers? Why? Yes. The answer is yes. Why would Aaron Rodgers want to start over again, especially at his age? It doesn't make sense. I know you're like, oh, that'd be great. And yeah, maybe they might be better for a season. They're not going to be championship worthy. They're not. Let's live in reality, Cardinals fans. You're not going to go win a championship if all of a sudden they put Aaron Rodgers on your roster. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress on Rodgers and the coaching staff to get your shit straight. And you guys are a broken team right now. Jacoby Brissett is a great starting quarterback for you. He's going to go out there, make you guys competitive. You guys might even make the playoffs. But Aaron Rodgers, yeah, you might win you might go to the playoffs and you might win a game. That's really the only difference I see is maybe a playoff victory. And then after that season, you're done and you're starting over again. So why deal with it? It wouldn't make sense for Aaron Rodgers to do it. It wouldn't make sense for the Cardinals to do it. And if all of a sudden, you know, if Aaron Rodgers left Pittsburgh and made his way to the Cardinals, even his imaginary wife would be saying this to Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Yeah. Let's be honest, real quick. Nobody's seen her yet. Nobody has seen her. I think it's Sports Memery on social media made a hilarious picture of Aaron Rodgers at the Met Gala with his wife, Brittany or whatever, and it's a blow-up doll. Such a weird situation. I would not be surprised if Aaron Rodgers is married to an AI sex doll. Just saying, would you? He's a little bit out there, huh? He's like, quit judging me, huh? She gets me. She does. Anyway, there you go. It does it make sense for Aaron Rodgers to leave? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. Really do appreciate it. That's it for the sports section. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the show. Have an amazing day. Let's go ahead and move forward and have a great, great day. I'll talk to you next time. It's DeHuff Uncensored.